Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the long-timers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the very heart of our homes. Hello to our friends joining us on live stream this morning. This is our annual flower ceremony and volunteer appreciation Sunday. This is a chance for your board of trustees and me to say thank you for all of the time and talent that you have blessed this congregation with. And then after our worship service, we have the annual congregational meeting that will be at 12:30 in the fireside room, which is a meeting room just off of our social hall. And you can join us in person, or you'll be able to join us online for a hybrid meeting. And if you're new to Throop, we would love to stay in touch with you, and you can either sign the online guest book, or there's an info card in the pew back in front of you, and you'll have a chance later in the service to hand that to an usher. Each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light. And I would like to invite, Joy and Isla to come up and share our chalice lighting words.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with love, compassion, and justice. Within the heart of the flower, we experience a fountain of beauty. Within the heart of this community, we feel a fire that warms and dances. Within the heart of each of us dwells a spark of the spirit of life. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose land we now occupy. The land under and around Throop was once and still the home of the Gabonino Tongva band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into seeking justice and equity for all. We light the third candle, symbolizing our watershed, the royal circle. May the waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of this in our hearts.
Thank you. And we continue gathering together with our opening hymn. It's number 21 in the gray hymnal, For the Beauty of the Earth, and I invite you to rise and sing as you are able. Take a minute, turn to your neighbor, and welcome them into worship. responsive reading this morning is in honor of our flower ceremony, and the response from the congregation is in the order of worship, and it is, "May our spiritual baskets be filled with love and hope." Let's say that together. May our spiritual baskets be filled with love and hope. Our lives are like flowers. Just as we gather flowers to grace our homes, we collect beautiful moments, joys, delightful experiences, laughter, and smiles. May we celebrate all the beauty in our lives. May our spiritual baskets be filled with love and hope. Most flowers fall off their branches at the end of the season. It's inevitable that they die, and so it is with our lives. There are times that our flowers wilt and die. We create space for all the sorrows in our lives, the challenges, the disappointments, the sadnesses, and the regrets. We make space to mourn and cry, and we hope that the flowers will one day return. May our spiritual baskets be filled with love and hope. In certain seasons, we wait for the flowers to return. It's a liminal space that's in between. We hope that they'll return to their full beauty. In all the seasons of our lives, we rely on the strengths of our community, of our faith, and we hold confidence that we are all part of the cycle of life and that love endures. May the spiritual baskets of our lives be filled with love and hope. Well, I didn't do the response quite correctly, but you know what? It's flower ceremony. And today, our story called A Conversation Amongst the Flowers is brought to you by Terry and Jake.
One day, two kids stood side by side looking at the garden, which was in full bloom.
"Isn't it pretty?" said the first. "With all the different colors?"
"I don't see color," said the second, for this is what their parents had taught them to say.
This started up quite a conversation amongst the flowers, who spoke their own quiet language to each other.
"That makes me want to cry," said the bleeding heart, who was full of feeling on the best of days.
"Oh, you always want to cry," said the iris, who was always self-possessed, never shedding petals here and there like the apple blossoms which grew above them.
"But it's so sad," the bleeding heart repeated, "not to see color."
"Don't worry," said the flag, upright and direct as always. "They're just pretending anyway, when they say that."
"But why would they pretend such a thing?" said the peony indignantly. "It would be such a shame not to see my beautiful magenta layers. Of all the flowers in the garden, they were the most showy."
"Because they were taught the wrong thing about this country when they got here," said the flag, who often spoke about the country's founding. "They were told this place was a melting pot, that everyone should become the same."
The sweetgrass, who had been here long before, swayed gently in the breeze and added, "They didn't understand that this land is a garden, that we each add beauty with our different colors and shapes and sizes."
"Well, I certainly do," said the peony, ever confident.
"They forget," said the lupin, "that we bloom in our own way and in different seasons to make the world more beautiful."
"But will they remember?" asked the nervous forget-me-not, always preoccupied with questions of legacy.
"That's why we're here," remarked the daisy, who, though humble, knew the power of a simple gesture, once having been placed into the barrel of a gun to proclaim peace. "That's why we're here, to remind them."
Thank you, Terry and Jake. So this morning, our children are going to stay in here with us for our volunteer appreciation and flower ceremony. But for any of the families that need some space, the nursery is open upstairs, and you're welcome to be in that space together. And the congregation sings hymn number 76 for flowers that bloom about our feet, and you can remain seated while we sing together.
For flowers that bloom about our feet, for tender grass so fresh and sweet, for song of bird and hum of bee, for all things fair we hear or see, Giver of all we thank thee. For blue of stream on blue of sky, for pleasant shade of branches high, for fragrant air and cooling breeze, for beauty of the blooming trees, Giver of all we thank thee. For this new morning with its light, for rest and shelter of the night, for health and food, for love and friends, for everything thy goodness sends, Giver of all we thank thee.
This church is ours, and we support it through all of our gifts of time and talent and treasure. For those of you that would like to offer a financial contribution today, we thank you. And you can give online. The way to do that is in the order of worship. And if you're here in the room, you'll be able to give a donation to Kate, who's about to pass the offering plate down the aisle. And if you are giving a gift of cash and you want us to note it to you, please put your name on the green envelope that you'll find in the pew. Thank you for all of the ways you support our life together. The offering will now be gratefully received.
The ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up those who supported worship this morning, starting with choir. That was so beautiful. Thank you. Marissa and Jean, Rachel, Fiona, Dre, Gordon, Taryn, Teresa, and Matthew. Thank you all so much for the hours you spent rehearsing that and then performing it this morning. Thank you to Kate for being our greeter, for Terry and Jake for offering the story this morning, Brad for running live stream. Thank you. Cynthia for setting out our coffee and conversation for after the service. Hillary for your administrative support, and Megan for your music collaboration and leading choir so beautifully today. Thank you. And in the spirit of gratitude, we share our response to the offering, and those words are in the order of worship. For the ministries of the church and our community, we bless our offering with love and hope. And then we also just take a moment and a breath in and exhale. And when we share our promise to our planet, I like to invite you all to just hold in your heart or mind one piece of our earth that you appreciated today. And in honor of our flower ceremony, maybe you can call to mind a particular flower you saw on a tree or a shrub or even growing in between a crack in a sidewalk. And we share our promise to our planet. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we're guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the web of all existence of which we are a part, with hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources. We promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. And each week, we very intentionally promise to protect the sacred and scarce resources of our earth. And on this Sunday, we celebrate the sacred resources of each one of you, our people here at Throop. So many of you offer your generous gifts of time and talent to this place, and your board of trustees and I will take this time to thank you. And I'd like to invite the board to come forward. Maureen, our president, Roy, our past president, Jim, member at large, Marissa, treasurer, and Harlow, secretary. So your board and I appreciate all of you who bring your open minds and loving hearts and helping hands to support the ministries of this congregation. We come together as Throop to deepen our personal lives. We move toward just relationship in the wider community, and we attempt to heal and bring peace to our world. And the ways that we do this are many and varied. And each color of flower here on the altar, it represents a part of our care, a piece of all the wonderful people and activities that make this community whole. For each area of care with our congregation, we'll invite people who have participated in that particular area to come forward, and you'll take a flower. If you're someone whose body does not feel like moving through the space this morning, you can raise a hand, and when it's time, one of the board members will bring a flower to you. And in each of these moments, as you're coming forward, we'll all sing together, "From you I receive, to you I give." And Megan's going to teach us the song right now.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. Let's try it together.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. Our Sunday morning worship is meant to connect us to one another and to our sense of the holy. Our Sunday experience is created and held by so many hands. And for those of you that participate and help with our worship life, we thank you. If you are involved in any of the following teams, please come forward and take a purple or a blue flower, or raise a hand if you don't feel like coming forward this morning. So our Kids Dig In program leaders and volunteers, the choir, any of our church musicians, our live stream tech operators, those who are in our Throop players, greeters and ushers, worship associates and lay preachers, visual arts and altar creators, coffee and conversation hospitality. Did you have any idea that many different teams were involved in our 1 hour on Sunday morning? It's amazing. So I know some of you are still sitting or you don't have your hand raised, but please come forward if you participate in those teams, and please take a flower. Purple and blue. Oh my gosh, it's the whole congregation. I love this. Yes.
Some of our care for our congregation happens behind the scenes. These important volunteer roles and the hours they share support the health and well-being of our Throop community. There are so many ways that the infrastructure of our congregation is maintained. Through the finances, by attending to our historic building, supporting our lay leadership, and nurturing each other's emotional well-being. For those of you who care for our congregations in these ways, we thank you.
If you're involved in any of the following committees or teams, please come forward and take a yellow or orange flower, or raise a hand and you'll receive a yellow or orange flower from the board. Campus caretaking. Development. Endowment. Finance. Nominating. And the pastoral care team.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
As Unitarian Universalists, love for the world is at the heart of our theology and of our message. We believe that love becomes visible through our actions in the larger community. Our care for our wider community takes place outside of the boundaries of our campus as we work to ensure that the inherent worth and dignity of every being is honored and respected. For those of you who care for our wider community, we thank you.
If you are involved in any of the following teams, please come forward and take a red flower, or raise a hand and you will receive a red flower from the board. Social Justice Team, Vote Forward, Make Housing Happen, and the Measure H Rent Control Campaign. Pasadena 100, Pasadena Environmental Advocates, Friends Indeed, Fourth Sunday Sack Lunches, attending rallies, marches, and lobby visits to elected officials.
And we have some beloved friends from the Mennonite Church who are with us, and I know you participate in these ways, and I would love for you to come and take a red flower.
From you I
An important aspect of our care is our encouragement of spiritual growth and our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. As Unitarian Universalists, we have the gift of being able to pursue spiritual growth in several ways. For those of you who care for our mind, our heart, our body, our spirit, and the connection between them all, we thank you. If you are involved in the leadership of the following groups, please come forward and take a green or white flower, or raise a hand and you'll receive a green or white flower from the board. The 20s and 30s group, book groups, Death Cafe, Learning Garden team, listening and storytelling, lunch bunch, wondering over wine, or the Zoom happy hour. As they come forward to receive their flowers, let's sing them our thanks.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
And I've noted that the board has been handing out so many beautiful flowers. Some of them took my direction and did take some, and others of you I see did not. But don't worry, your hands will not be empty. Your board works hard all through the year in meetings, sending emails, meeting with me during the week. They cover so many different topics. And I have a special flower for each of them, just as one way to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you've given, for all the support you've shown me, and all the love and care that you give our congregation. And so, will you all show your gratitude to the board and just give them some applause and love and
Oh, give us pleasure in the flowers today, and give us not to think so far away, as the uncertain harvest keep us here, all simply in the springing of the year. Oh, give us pleasure in the orchard white, like nothing else by day, like ghosts by night, and make us happy in the happy beginning. swarm dilating round the perfect trees. For this is love, and nothing else is love, by which is reserved for those above to sanctify, for what for ends the will, but which it only needs that we fulfill.
The Unitarian flower ceremony was created in 1923, so it is 100 years old this year. And it was created in Prague by Unitarian minister Norbert Čapek. And the city of Prague at the time was in turmoil as it tried to recover from World War I. The people were trying to rebuild their community. And Čapek ministered to people who were hurting. In a city that faced widespread hunger and that lacked a lot of just the basic necessities, he knew that people were living in really hard times. And people needed to hear and really feel a message of love and hope. They needed some kind of message that would help bind them together. He wondered, what would feel really special to my worshiping community? What ritual could he create that would give them a real sense of comfort, but a ritual that wouldn't be steeped in some of the Catholic rituals that members of his congregation had come out of and that he knew wouldn't really sit right with them at that moment? So Čapek looked to the beauty of nature for his inspiration. And he decided that he was going to have people in his congregation, each of them bring in a different flower. It could be a flower that they bought at the store. It could be a flower that was in their home garden. It could be a twig that they took off of a tree gently on their way into the service that morning. And all the different flowers symbolize the diversity of people in his congregation. He knew that many different flowers make a truly gorgeous and spectacular bouquet, and he knew that many different people are what make a beautiful and strong community. Each person has value, and each person is worthy. And each of you have your own gifts that you bring into this church, and we are so much better for that. Each flower in this room is unique, just like each one of you. Each flower is unlike any other, just like you. The flowers represent the distinct contributions that you make here at Throop and also out in the larger world. You scatter your own seeds of hope and love and justice. The world and our congregation wouldn't be the same without each and every one of you. So I know that some of you have multiple flowers in your hands, and some of you right now, your hands may be empty, but they won't be empty for long. In a moment, you'll be invited to turn to someone else in the room to find someone without a flower and share your bounty of flowers with them. In passing our flower to someone else in the room, we're honoring our covenanted community, and it's helping us celebrate the differences among us. And as you exchange your flowers, and I hope you'll do it multiple times with different people, that's a chance for you to just say a really simple thank you. Your thank you honors our individual paths, the unique ways that each of us seek a connection with the divine, and the unique ways that each of us bring a sense of wholeness and holiness into the world. And so take a few moments and turn to people and say thank you as you exchange or give a flower to them. And you can continue exchanging flowers or closing hymn. We'll be in just a moment, but we're going to close out the ceremony with a prayer that Reverend Chapek wrote. And he said, "In the name of love, we celebrate the friendships that are found here. May we be held in the long tradition of this faith. May we know that we are on the shoulders of those who came before us, and let us carry their same resolution to honor the inherent worth and dignity of every person. May we gather strength from these good people, knowing that the spirit of love and life unite us. And may we endeavor for a more perfect, a more peaceful, a more grace-filled world." Amen. And let's sing together, closing hymn 346. Come sing a song with me, and please rise as your body and spirit allow.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Place a hand on your heart and another hand or flower. Reach it out to someone in the room or one of our friends on the live stream. Our chalice is extinguished. We carry its light with us, and may we go into this week with smiles and flowers and dancing as the girls are doing along this aisle. May you have hope in all of your days. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen and blessed be. See you at the annual meeting at 12:30.